Hey everybody, welcome back to the Faces That Make Us. My name is Emmet. I am here with Mat Snyder. He is the CFO of Gamber-Johnson. So Matt, how long have you been with Gamber-Johnson?
We actually just celebrated my 1 year anniversary this week, which is a bit shocking to the people that I talked about it with, but it's flown by, it's been really good, so 1 year.
That's awesome. How did you find out about Gamber-Johnson?
The long story is through a friend of mine. She was a recruiter out of the Milwaukee area. She connected with a recruiting agency up here in Stevens Point. I had more or less reached out just in terms of what I wanted for an opportunity, but the wife and I were looking to, at some point, migrate further north. We were from the Milwaukee area. We knew we wanted to be towards Minocqua, towards the end of our careers. So it was kind of aligned in the stars in terms of one recruiting group reaching out to another one, and this perfect opportunity that came about, and so that's what got me here.
How has working for Gamber-Johnson impacted your life?
For me, it's a bit of a culture shift. So I come from a background of public accounting firms, large publicly traded, privately held firms. Here, it's a little bit smaller company. So really, in terms of how it's changed my life, it's allowed me to take all the different experiences that I've had at all the different companies that I've worked for in my career and kind of bring it all together and here put on like an ownership hat. Prior to my professional career starting, I worked in the restaurant, hotel industry. Helped run a couple different restaurants and hotels while I was growing up. Kind of takes me back to that time and place in my life, and it's something that I enjoy, having that more or less owner impact on the business and being able to take some of the skills I learned in some of the other firms that I worked for and being able to apply it here.
What do you like most about working at Gamber-Johnson?
Probably just that piece of it, right? So with the bigger corporations that I was at, great experience, but a little less flexibility, a little less ability to own something cradle to grave, a little less impact on the business in terms of just having it being more siloed or more divided up by strategic business units. Here it's really one big family. So in terms of just being able to really feel like a true business owner in the position that I'm in, and not just being part of a huge piece of a pie, and being able to see that benefit through has been really rewarding.
What makes Gamber-Johnson different from past employers?
Probably the piece of just terms of like size, right, and just overall ability to influence. But I'm sure many people that know the business know that we have a little bit different concept in terms of the sell structure. It's one that you definitely have to learn and embrace, but that's one that I'd say separates us from any place that I've been at, and even other places that I know about in different industries that my friends or colleagues will go to, is that this sell concept is very different. It's very rewarding if it's something that you think you'd strive in terms of being more of like an ownership mindset. If you're looking for that set structure, that siloed approach where you don't have to look left and right in terms of what your counterparts are doing, it's definitely a culture shift for a lot of individuals, but it's one that I think I really enjoy.
What qualities do you feel everyone at Gamber-Johnson has that benefits the company?
Oof. There's a lot, just in moving, I'd say different parts of the states, right? The type of people that live in this area, I'd say, are just a little bit different than the bigger city. There's a lot of people that I think, just have a passion, there's a sense of pride, there's a sense of going out of your way to making sure that not only you do your job well, but supporting everybody else around you to make sure that they do a really good job. I'd say overall, maybe qualities, more or less a way that they approach life kind of transpires here into how they approach their work, and it's a lot different than what I guess I'm used to. So in terms of qualities, I think we got great people, and that transitions into great products, and that is something that's more of a team environment instead of an individual environment.
How are you implementing automation into accounting and finance?
So when I got here, there was really two things that we identified right away, and I knew that we could deliver on. And when I say I'm talking about for the team. The one being EDI, which is, I know, a trendy topic, but it's one that for a company our size, there's a lot of benefits for. Really what you're doing is you're trying to minimize the people that are in a process and have systems talk to themselves. A great example at a high level is credit cards, right? In the past, you'd have to do here's your receipt, here's the cash, the exchange of cash, and then there's the change, right? In EDI, insert your credit card, you're out, right? It's systems talking. It's not so much the need of people to execute a transaction, or on the purchasing side or sales order side, how can we have inside sales and purchasing groups at customers and vendors basically be automated is really what we've been focusing in on. So in terms of automation, we've had a couple key projects that have gone really well with some of our biggest vendors and some of our biggest customers, in terms of being able to take the key entries away from people and allowing them to have more time to do analytical research and analytical analysis in terms of what could help the relationship be better for both sides. The second piece that I focused in on more on the accounting side was the automation of like cash applications, ARAP. Really with that one is we were a smaller company, and that's what this company was 5 years ago. There's a way to get by in terms of applying cash to customer balances and doing some of your treasury functions in terms of taking cash or checks locally on site here. Really what we've been trying to do is partner with banks to find ways to just get more efficient and have our customers more or less work directly with their banks to close out a transaction, instead of it being something that we have to have one person here running around to the bank and doing a bunch of other stuff in terms of getting cash applied. Would have been able to see a significant reduction overall just transactions and keystrokes, which has been huge. And those are the two big projects in terms of automation we've been doing.
So Matt, how do you measure ROI when making an investment?
Really comes down to, I guess, what it is. So if you're looking at a CapEx project, or you're looking at a product that we're looking to launch, that's a little bit different of a calculation, right? You're looking at just what ROI is. You're looking at your return or your net profit on that product versus all the needs of what would be to invest in it. So a quick example, we look at what we'd make in terms of overall profitability based on unit volumes of product A. In terms of the investment, we're looking at the marketing to get it up and running. We're looking at the landed cost in terms of freights and freight duty, anything else to get the product here. There's the cost to build it. So that's your typical way of calculating ROI, and I'd say our bread and butter. But for me, I focus a lot of my ROI on cost savings. So going back to the conversation on automation, it really is a different calculation, but you get into the same benefit. So we'll look at, in terms of your return, it's a measurement of this is how long it took to take process A versus process B. In terms of that investment, there's the time to look into the process and automate the process. Sometimes there's software. Sometimes you're working with consultants in terms of finding the best way to do it, or to help implement a software or some sort of coding. But a lot of what we've done in terms of my strategic projects have been focused in on cost savings and time savings for people. And then, in that we can invest back into the business and being more analytical, and invest back in the business in terms of just giving people more value-added tasks and not being so much clerical.
So Matt, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you giving me your time.
Yeah, I appreciate the interview.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.